everybody. Welcome back to the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast, episode 90. That's right. We have done this 90 times. Can you believe it? I'm your host, Gene Jackson, coming to you as always from the Retro Wrestling Archive here in beautiful, sunny today, Gadsden, Alabama, with producer Smokey doing his thing behind the scenes. And I've had some people messaging me lately asking about producer Smokey. Like, producer Smokey, that was part of the old Cheap Heat TV podcast, and he just kind of suddenly appeared here without explanation. So if you're watching the video, I'm going to put up a picture of producer Smokey right now, and then you can get an idea of who I'm referring to whenever I make reference to producer Smokey. That's him right there. That's who's running the board, and now you may understand some of our technical issues a little better than you have in the past. So there you go. For those asking, that's producer Smokey. And coming up next, my co-host, he's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster. He's Josh Briley from P3 Radio. Josh, good morning.
Good morning, Gene. Man, 90 times. No wonder I'm chafed. We've done this 90 times already.
That's right.
And I've been here probably maybe, 88 of them? I haven't missed many. But
not many. You have been around.
What a ride, man.
Bad,
it's been fun, dude. And everything in between. Even the Famunda cheese, man. How you doing, Gene?
To have gotten in at nearly 2 o'clock last night and not gone to sleep till almost 4 for the past 2 nights, I actually feel pretty good this morning. I feel like I'm a little more chipper than I have been the last couple of late night shows. So I guess we better keep it moving so I don't lose my buzz here. So we got to bring on our other co-host. He's the owner, founder, and president of STSpod.club, and he's currently Jonesboro, Arkansas's favorite resident. I'm not going to say it the way he says it. That's infringement. Spoiler alert, it's Brian Trammell. BT.
Hey,
morning,
it's my
sir.
best friend Gene and my favorite host of P3 Radio. By the way, 90 episodes, and I've been on all the good ones. How's that? I'm over here getting bucked, brought to you by Jolly Royal Furniture, open an account or reopen an account. We got Rob coming into town, not this Monday, but next Monday. We're going to be at 122 South Main Street, Memphis. We're going to reopen his old account, and we're also going to stop by Spaghetti Warehouse, 40 West Hulligan Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee. Greg's Store for Men. I'm upset. I got heat with them because they're not returning my calls. And also, as always, you showed Smokey's picture there. I got heat with Smokey too because he's took my P3 Radio review and turned it into a minute. So I always got heat with him. He'll probably mute me here in a minute.
He might. You can't rile him up because he'll hit that mute button in a heartbeat.
And I had a meeting with him earlier this week. It was after the Hot Mics came out, and Smokey pulled me to the side and said, "Man, we gotta have some wrestling on that Hot Mic. So none of that bullshit all the time. So we need some. So we got some wrestling today."
That's right. And I talked about I have people messaging me asking about producer Smokey. We have people messaging about different things related to Hot Mics and this show. So I want to thank everybody who listens to the show over on WrestleCopia, or if you watch it on YouTube. Our numbers are continuing to grow stronger as we move through 1991. We're gaining momentum. We're gaining more audience, and man, that's awesome. It's crazy to think we're already more than halfway through 1991.
Right.
But the good news is there's a lot of great stuff in 1992, so we don't have to be sad at the end of 91 because we've got even more good stuff coming in 92 when we get there. And so just want to thank everybody who reaches out through Facebook Messenger, email, Patreon private messages. It's great to hear from y'all and to know that there's people enjoying what we do and look forward to the show each week. And so, we've tried from the beginning of the show, back when Richard was full-time, up through BT joining us, we wanted to kind of be a balance of historical review and sharing information we've learned over the years with our silly impressions and jokes mixed in here and there. But be a nice balance of fun yet informative. And most people that I hear from seem to think that we're accomplishing that. So that's good to hear as well. And I feel like we've got a pretty good mix of audience of people who are like us, who watched it back then, and they're going back and reliving it with us now. And then there's people who watched a lot of the shows, but they missed a lot of the shows, so they're filling in gaps that they didn't have from before. And then there's another smaller segment of the audience I'm starting to find out that are younger fans that didn't see any of this, or they lived in a part of the country that they couldn't get it on TV. And so they're experiencing all this for the very first time with us, and it's like watching a brand new show every week. And that's pretty fun as well. So whatever category of those you fall into, we thank you for being here with us. If you've been here from the beginning, that's awesome. And if you're just joining us, well, you can go back and learn all about 1993 and the first half of 1991. So right now, we're going to head back to July 20th, 1991. Dave Brown and Michael St. John are both here. Got a standing room only crowd, it seems like, in the studio. They're packed in there. There's a group from Philadelphia there we'll talk about here in a little bit. And we got a couple of debuts here. Going to have the Heartbreaker Randy Harris debuting as well. Reggie B. Fine is going to introduce Awesome Kong, a couple of physical specimens, as Reggie B. referred to Awesome Kong at one point. That's one way to say it. Of course, we're going to have Eric Embry here, Dr. Tom, the King, Jarrett, and Fuller. Going to be a big show. So what I want us to do right here, this Heartbreaker Randy Harris, my goodness, let's watch this match, guys. It's only about 3 minutes long, but it's, I don't know, he's something here.
Here he comes, our first look at him in the USWA. Heartbreaker.
Did he end up being anybody? That was my question.
No, I don't think so. I couldn't find anything on him other than he had worked in Chicago. I think he was from that Windy City Wrestling. Dave politely referred to him as having a stocky build. Go ahead.
What? He said hold on, I got it wrote down. This is what Michael St. John said. He was a fire plug.
Yes.
Do y'all know what a fire plug is?
Yes, it's a fire hydrant. He's built like a little short, white-ass fire hydrant.
I get it now. I was confused as hell.
People used to say that about Taz a lot back in the day. I want to say something right here. If anybody from like the North Mississippi area who grew up going to indie shows in Mississippi, this match is like if young Dangerous David Cox was wrestling present day Dangerous David Cox. And if you don't know who David Cox is, you don't get that joke. But if you do, that's spot on. That's a great analogy. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But I don't know, man. This guy looks like he could just be one of those dudes that's standing in the corner waiting as one of the stars comes out. But yet we're hyping him up here like he's something.
I got the flashback. Like there was always like going to be a problem no matter where you went in the 90s, like Walmart or, it's always a problem around a corner potentially. And I feel like this is the bully of every Walmart, like you're going to run into that won't get out of the way of the eggs or whatever, and just being a shithead. Like, you know what I mean? The rat tail.
Hey, man, you got a problem? I'm just trying to find my eggs, all right?
The tough guy gloves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the gloves really set it off.
I also noticed this. Do you think Shawn Michaels noticed this guy at some point and was like, dude, I love this. I love this whole thing. The rat tail, the gloves, the wacky tights. He's a heartbreaker. It's like if Shawn Michaels wasn't as successful.
So a few months from now, Shawn's taking this tape into Vince's office. He's like, Vince, I know we're getting ready to turn me soon. I'm going to throw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. I want you to see Heartbreaker Randy Harris from Memphis. I like his vibe. I think I could pull this off.
It is
damn,
everything.
pal, I don't know about that. He's a fire plug. That's not a compliment, by the way. Oh, now notice he's got one knee pad on, and he drops the knee that doesn't have the knee pad. So that's a dick move. I don't know if he just couldn't afford but one knee pad, or if he was getting ribbed, somebody hit it, or what's going on here. But he's got one knee pad, which is but he was safe enough to use the knee pad knee off the second rope. So that's
Maybe that's why it looked so shitty. He landed on the non-knee pad knee. God.
I feel like he showed up and Eric Embry's like, he's from Chicago. He ain't never been to Texas. Hell no.
Like,
You are going to
no
die,
part of
but
that
I
in
didn't
Team
have
Texas.
I didn't really have a big problem with him. I mean, his look, but I thought he just worked as a heel. I didn't think much about him. So
I mean, I don't have a problem with him. It's just like, I don't know. He just don't seem like, you don't want to kick the show off and hype up. Like, hey, look at this guy. Like,
but that, can we all agree that finisher was like absolute, just horrible? Like
yes, he could have killed somebody.
I honestly feel, I mean, I would get injured. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not going to get injured, but I feel like at my age right now, I could do a better knee off the top rope than that shit.
for sure. For sure.
I don't know.
BT could fall off the second rope and do a better knee drop than that.
No, I jumped out in my first match. I dove off the bottom rope. I need to find that match and let's watch it on Patreon sometime.
Hell
It is
yeah.
god awful. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, don't keep that one to yourself. That
I gotta
sounds
find
fun. But so yeah, he's here, and I can't wait till we get to the results from the Pipkins building, because I got a new question for somebody on an upcoming podcast. So from there, Reggie B comes out, and he's got Awesome Kong, who at some point in all this mess he refers to as a specimen. Now here's a shot of the specimen right here. Take a look. There's Reggie. Now I've got a clip of this. I didn't clip the whole thing because this went on for quite some time. But just for people to get if you're not familiar with Reggie B, if you didn't watch the '93 one, here's Reggie B. And this is, I mean, if you didn't know this was 1991, you talking about a timestamp. This is Reggie B. Fine with Dave Brown trying to get rapper Chub Rock on the phone, and Cool Cat Michael St. John has to chime in to let Dave Brown know who Chub Rock is. And listen for this. I don't usually spoil it before the video, but make it a point to listen to where Michael St. John realizes that Dave Brown has no idea who the fuck Chub Rock is or what we're even doing. So he's like, Dave, Chub Rock's a rapper. And Dave's like, I know the fuck Chub Rock. He didn't say that. But that seemed to be the indication. He almost looked offended that Michael St. John tried to tell him. Check this out.
How about that phone? What original gimmick there with that phone?
Can y'all see the video?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
Well,
Sometimes
Michael, we've got a guy coming out here and his manager. His manager was hanging around last week, Reggie B. Fine, and you and I remarked a couple times, what's he doing here? Taking notes. Yeah, he's taking notes on everything, and, well, we found out now what Reggie B. Fine was doing here. He has gone and signed this man right here, Awesome Kong, 454 pounds he weighs.
Hey, what's happening? I know y'all glad to see me back, baby. Look at that specimen. You know what? I was out here last week, I was just trying to find some people that I thought I can have some trust in and make a little money with, you understand? And come to find out these low budgets don't want to have nothing to do with Reggie B. Fine. They're like they don't know who Reggie B. Fine is. But you know what? I know people in high places, I know people in low. Matter of fact, I got a partner, Chub Rock? You know Chub Rock? Do you listen to the radio?
Yeah.
Who you listen to, Tammy Wynette? What, Country FM 99?
What do you want? What do you got on with it?
Check this out, baby. Let me call my partner, Chug Rock. Matter of fact, he told me to call him right about now. And, he got a little money and things. He wants to 216.
Who are you calling?
Chug Rock, man. Be quiet, man. It's very important, real important.
Dave, Chub Rock is a rapper.
Yeah, I know, but
hello.
I doubt he's calling him for...
Yeah. Hey, hello. Hey, let me speak to Chug Rock. Yeah, Chug. Let me speak to Chug Rock. Yeah, Reggie B. Fine. I'm in Memphis. Yeah, tell him it's long distance. I'm in Memphis. Yeah, he come.
Let's see if he really...
Hey, that's my partner, man. He about this big, man. He real big, man. That's my partner. Hey, what you mean you don't know no Reggie B. Fine? You tell that fat slob he wasn't nothing. He still ain't nothing. Hey. But you know what, though? Since Chub Rock don't know who I am, take a look at...
Reggie B. Fine, who says he has friends in high places, but when he tries to call them, they won't talk to him. He's got Awesome Kong, though. Yeah, I bet it is him calling back. It's probably the phone company wanting the bill paid here, Reggie.
My wife was in the room when I watched that, and she actually popped for Dave Brown saying it's probably the phone company wanting the bill paid. So here we got Reggie B returning as a manager, and he's doing a Bob Newhart fake phone call comedy bit in 1991. I mean, he's out here. I don't know. That's, to me, just the funny part of Reggie B is like this whole thing should be about getting Awesome Kong over, and he spends 2.5 minutes doing a bit where he looks like a jackass on the phone, where he's the butt of a joke. But it's fun. It's fun. But it was all worth it to me just for the Dave Chop Rock's a rapper. I know.
I
love it
imagine
because
Dave going down Memphis with the music playing real loud in his car.
Tell me why not.
Tell me why not.
I liked it because, like I expect that from Reggie. And I figured, BT, you had heat with Greg's because your plan was to go down there and see if they still had some of those outfits Reggie B had on in the back so you could wear that shit reviewing this interview today.
That's possible. That's possible. You know how if they're not answering my phone calls, that's what pisses me off. You try to call somebody, you leave them a message on their Facebook, and they don't message you back. All you got to do is say not interested. Come on, Greggs. Come on. Hey, this Awesome Kong guy is no longer with us, right? He died,
Right.
I think, in 2012. But I found, and I cannot find where I found this at. I found a letter from his wife, and he was in prison. And she wrote this letter on a message board that said he's serving 2 felony counts. Reason, his words and not mine, steroids, the illegal kind. He wants me to tell you also that he gets out in September 2007. He's in a Texas prison. He's had health problems since being in prison, but he has improved greatly. His plan is to still wrestle when he gets out and also start a wrestling school. And she goes on to give her AOL account, and he will also, I don't know, she just goes on and on about him being in prison. He'll be okay when he gets out.
Wow.
So,
Steroids.
Yeah. So he was selling, what I can gather is that he was actually selling steroids.
Okay. So clearly.
He followed the motto, don't get high on your own supply. Definitely. But to be fair, when I was 9 years old, this son of a bitch was like extremely intimidating to me. And like, I liked the Reggie B aspect of it, but when he let out that banshee ass scream whenever the interview was he could feel that it was going south. That shit scared me back in the day.
It looked like it scared Reggie B. He jumped.
If he'd been a cartoon, his eyeballs would have popped out. But
this is the last sentence. She did a PS. I just got this. He will also have another fight name when he gets out of prison. It will be Texas Kong.
Oh,
so are we sure this isn't like one of those Stan Lane's wife is from Memphis deals or whatever it was? Or is it not? I mean, is this just like an obsessed fan, or is this?
No, this is a shoot email. Everything her name's on there in the whole 9 yards, and she spells his name correctly. So that's what I really thought. Maybe this is fake, but he has a really weird.
You mean his real name? Okay, I was
going to say
his name is not. Guys,
I did not notice you signed it, Mrs. Kong. Shit,
it would have been a dead giveaway if she'd have misspelled
Kong. His name
Kong.
is not awesome, y'all. Come on now.
Sincerely, Suzanne Kong. He changed his. He's like Jim Hellwig. He legally changed his name to Awesome Kong, so that if he went to another promotion, he could use it.
He spells his name is Dwayne, but it's a very odd spelling. So it's just like it reminds me of
D-A-N-E.
No, it's DWAIN.
Now, Dwayne, is he Awesome Kong or King Kong?
I may have got this totally wrong then.
I think he's King. So here's the crazy part about this. I remember Awesome Kong showing up in Memphis, and he was in Global.
Yeah.
And then they find another guy who, when you put a mask on him, looks like his damn twin, and they become the Colossal Kongs. They end up in WCW, managed by Harley Race. They have a match with Sting and Ric Flair on the infamous Clash of the Champions, where freaking Tugboat Shockmaster falls through the freaking wall. And
no, Awesome Kong was Dwayne. That was Dwayne. Yeah. But
so Awesome Kong / Dwayne, this isn't the only time he's in Memphis. Does anybody remember who else he was on Memphis television?
I don't.
He was part of the tag team, the Fat Boys. I don't know if he was meat or potatoes, but one of those two guys was Dwayne McCullough Awesome Kong. But I can't remember if it was before this or it has to be before this. It had to be in 1990, I think. I don't think it was 92. But yeah, without the mask, they come out as the Fat Boys to that Fat Boys song, Wipeout or something like that. And didn't stay around long. It was literally like one of those 2-week gimmicks. But
I have got to look that up. I want to say I remember something about it, but it may have been just like something I
shared it on our Facebook a long time ago. I'll find it and send you the link to it because it's worth watching. I would have paid money to see the Fat Boys wrestle like Mario and the tag team partner of his choosing. Would have been tremendous. So we get to see Awesome Kong in action. He goes in against poor TD Steele and squashes him. He's working the Monster Vader type style, hits a big splash for the finish. Post-match, he hits him with another splash just to establish that he's a real shithead. And Reggie's struggling to control him. And boy, that outfit, I mean, like you pointed out there, Josh, the outfit's something, but the fact there's shorts and he's wearing sandals with his leg crossed on the desk, and Dave looked like he wanted to just slap him over that desk. Like, Dave did not seem like he enjoyed anything about that entire segment with Reggie B. Like, he's one of those people that's completely unamused by that, as he is with most things, it seems. Like, I heard, I was driving back from Mississippi last night, I was listening to an old podcast where Bo James was on Between the Sheets, and Jimmy Valiant came up. Or no, it wasn't Between the Sheets. I think it was one of his Outlaws to Independence or whatever. But anyway, Jimmy Valiant comes up, and he talked about how well Tony Schiavone sold the Kiss. And he's like, now, did you ever see Jimmy Valiant kiss Dave Brown? And the host was like, no, I don't think so. He's like, well, there's a reason. He said he would only do that with people that would play along. He said nobody sold it better than Tony Schiavone. He said, but he tried to do it to Dave, and Dave literally fought him off and wouldn't let him do it. And he never, ever tried it with Dave again. But, like, Dave wasn't for that bullshit. Like, I seen another clip somebody sent me where I think it was like Richard Lee and the Moondogs or somebody come out, and they tried to snatch the microphone away from him, and he held on to it and was, like, struggling. And finally, I mean, he didn't give it up. He kept the damn microphone. I was like, holy shit, you just made the Moondogs like a couple of clowns because you wouldn't give up the microphone. But that's like an announcer thing.
I work for the station, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, like never give up the microphone. Like I was shooting an EPW promo 2 or 3 months ago, and Zay Washington snatched the mic out of my hand, and I just stepped out of the frame and let him do his promo. And when Neil went back to edit it later, he like called me. He's like, hey, don't ever let anybody take the fucking mic again. He said, just say cut. Get the mic back from him and start the shit over, but don't ever let nobody take the mic. I was like, yes, sir. So the last set of taping, some dude tried to grab the mic. I'm like, we're not doing that. He goes, what? I said, cut. I told him, I was like, I can't let you have the mic, so just talk into the damn thing. Okay. And you see it all the time, especially on Memphis. People will put their hand over Dave's hand or Lance's hand or whatever, and they'll pull it a couple times, and when they don't give it up, then they'll keep their hand on his hand, and it's awkward as shit. But that's a constant. Ever since, I've never paid attention to that over the years, but since that happened, I watch it now, and it happens literally all the freaking time on all the different wrestling shows. It's crazy. So then Jerry Lawler comes out, and he's doing a promo, and, well, we get some more Reggie B and Awesome Kong. Let's take a look at a little bit of this.
I likes that gold, man. You understand? I likes that gold. And this is the number one contender for that scrap right there, baby. I'm talking about for all 10 pounds of that gold. Don't run, boy. Come here.
Will you take it on out of here? You've had your interview.
Let me ask you a question, Jerry, the King Lawler. You know, you've been hot shot around Memphis for the last 75 years, I think, something like that. I don't know. But let me ask you a question, man. Look at you. How much do you weigh? Answer that question. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be frank, okay? Let me ask you a question, boy. How much you weigh?
Well, I'm out here to do an interview. I mean, this is my interview time. You guys had your time to come out here and run your mouth. Now it's time for me to run my mouth. I don't have to answer any questions about my weight or anything. What do you care what I weigh? What do you want to know?
You know, buddy, shut up while we trying to talk over here. Let me ask you, only reason I want to ask you this question.
All right, I weigh 224 pounds. What about it?
224. How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot tall. What about it?
6 foot tall.
That's right.
Now, you don't wear glasses or nothing, do you? Do you wear glasses?
No, but I see you do.
Look at this man right here. Hey, you punk, shut up. Look at this man right here. 6'5", 465 pounds. Man, he make two of you, man. I tell you what, we already got a title match signed, right? Shut up, you low budget. We already got a title match signed right down the line a little bit, right? A week, fruit, I don't know how long it's going to be.
This week.
This week?
That's right.
I tell you what, that building that you wrestle in over on Jackson or wherever you be at in this town, it don't hold but 8,000 people. Why let 8,000 people come to the building when 3-4 million can see it right here today? Shut up. If you got any guts, man, I'll give you $10,000 right now to put that scrap up right now. In this ring right here today.
Wait a minute. Look, Reggie. First of all, as I said, this is my interview time. And you're out here talking about the gold that you got around your neck and the gold that I got around my waist. Now, there's a little bit of difference in this gold right here and that gold that you got around your neck. This gold that I got in my hand here is something that you earned by stepping in that ring. That gold around your neck is probably something that you pickpocketed or shoplifted out of some jewelry store somewhere.
I likes that gold.
I likes that gold. Hey, boy, don't go running off. What the hell was Jerry Lawler wearing here? He looks like he's trying to hang with Reggie B. And having a wild outfit on. He come walking out, and I was like, God dang, what have we got going here? Got the purple going.
Surprised he didn't have the fanny pack. Where was his fanny pack at? That was 1990s, 80s wrestlers right there. So
he must have locked it up in the car or something. Because you know there was one around there somewhere that he was wearing. But did he call that a scrap instead of a strap around the?
He did, and that popped me so hard, dude. I screamed.
Wherever y'all be wrestling at down there, like
it only holds 8,000 people. Like no, you ain't getting 8,000 in the Pipkins building.
No.
Maybe if you stuff them in there with a shoehorn, but I mean, no. He must be. He must not have been watching TV and known that they weren't at the Mid-South Coliseum anymore.
Yeah, or he just hadn't been to the Pipkin building to see how damn small it was. But I don't know. It's funny because back when I watched these back in the day, I thought that this was like Reggie B kind of putting on for the show, like kind of playing up to the camera. But I have since gotten to know Reggie B and have talked to him on the phone many times. That's him. That is all him all day. Whether he's in front of the camera or you talk to him in the parking lot, he's going to talk just like that. Like that's who he is, which makes it even funnier to me.
He's living the gimmick. He's living the
he
gimmick.
is the gimmick. It's not a gimmick.
that's a shoot, motherfucker. That's a shoot. I like to go.
So, it looks like Lawler's moving on from Embry, and now we've brought in Awesome Kong here to challenge for the unified title, because the unified title has just kind of been on the back burner now for quite some time, while he was out injured and since he's been back, they've been kind of just more focused on the feud, not really playing up that he's world champion. So now he's got this big guy coming in to challenge him this week. And we'll go over the card here in just a little bit. Next up, and I didn't clip this, probably should have, but we get a video recap of the Mud Hole match.
This was the butthole tag match.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't clip it, because it's just like the clip we showed last week, except this time Dr. Tom falls in first, and then Eric Embry comes in to help make sure that the Dirty White Girl goes in to the mud pit this time. What did you think of the tag team mud pit highlights we got here?
I honestly expected more mud to be slung around in the ring, but it's like they took care of that shit. It must have been the second or third match, something like that. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that they let Pritchard and Tony Anthony fall in like at the same time, like almost like Luger and Brett at the Royal Rumble, But it was like, well, we got to do this to get this out of the way to get to the real part of the match, the ladies. And they Miss Texas, I thought, like they did good at the art of the struggle, working the hell out of that mud pit opposed to just rolling around in the ring and stuff. It really added suspense and stuff. But yeah, that sorry bastard Eric Embry coming in, he's always got to learn something. He's always trying to learn something.
He's just trying to have some fun, man.
I got to ask y'all if y'all noticed something. It is really strange. It looked like that Dirty White Boy and Tom Pritchard, and it could have been just sweat, but it looked like they put something like baby oil or something all over their body so I don't know if the mud wouldn't stick to it or it would be easier to. They were so shiny. I don't know what was going on.
They greased up for that one.
I don't know. And then you had Kim, the white girl, and Miss Texas, the black girl, there at the end. And I mean, I really liked it. I liked the way Embry came in, just like Josh, just the heel. That's who he is. That's what he would do, kind of thing.
That just reminded me of another message I got last week that said, BT's going to get canceled saying black girl and white girl. I'm like, well, there's nothing factually wrong with what he's saying, and he's not saying it with any malice. I was like, as a matter of fact, the announcer on the tape says
white girl. Yep.
No, we're fine. Yeah, you almost wonder if like they went arguing back and forth between Pritchard and Dirty White Boy, like who's going in? You're going in. No, you're going in. Like Eddie Marlin's like, well, you're both going in. Just fall in there together. And
all I could do is see them back there oiling each other up. Have you ever? Because that happens. I don't know if you've ever been backstage at a wrestling event, but that's you'll see two guys, one oiling the other one up. So it's just a normal
I would like
occurrence.
to think since they each had a valet that maybe they'll let them do it. But I know in your mind it automatically goes to, them two dudes was oiling each other.
They were. They were. I don't know why they were so shiny. It must have been. It couldn't have been. Well, it could have been hot in there. It was at the end of July.
Yeah, we're in July here, so there's a good chance that was natural sweat. But yeah, we'll go with your idea that they rubbed each other down before. I'm sure we'll get some feedback on that.
Man, the mud will just slide right off.
That's right.
I
That's
can
what
see
I was
that
thinking.
happening. Like somebody convinced somebody, and they just tried
Dr.
it.
Tom back. No, we didn't rub each other down. Okay, Dr. Piper, settle down.
And then he did his Dusty. We had Dusty Rhodes and Piper on these
Yes,
shows.
it's Dusty versus Piper now that we've got Dirty White Boy versus Tom Pritchard, which adds a whole new element to it.
We're going to get him, baby.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so that was the mud pit match. And let's see what happens here. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me find my spot here. So, real quickly, before I move past it and forget, they showed out in the crowd this little group.
Great USWA fans with us today. A lot of these folks that you see right here have come from the northeastern part of the United States, many of them from around Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have the Squared Circle Fan Club with us here today. Every year they make a special trip to join us for USWA action, and they'll be involved in several things with the USWA over the next few days. We're always glad to have them on this annual trip, and it's great to have them here.
The kid that they showed is the one that shaved his head for 2 years in a row, and I think this was the third. The little fat kid with the black shirt on,
Yeah.
and he's the one that got his head shaved every year. And I will not admit this, but I think there was a girl in the crowd I had sex with. So I mean, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard. So I was not there this year though.
Is it not counterproductive having the meanie with a fucking video camera?
I was just
in
about
the
to ask if
goddamn
y'all
studio?
recognized him.
Sorry.
I was just about to
soon
ask
as
if y'all
that-
recognized him. I was like, because they scanned the crowd. Honestly, first when they said Squared Circle group from Philadelphia, I'm looking for Jamie Ward out in the crowd.
He
I
didn't
know
go
if
to
he was
this
amongst
one.
them.
Yeah, he didn't
but
go
then
to this.
when they panned over and stopped, I'm like, shit, that's the meanie, and he puts the damn camera up there. Because he was when we were in Philadelphia, he was talking to Doug about that very trip. So I was glad.
And
he showed up on
you
camera.
have that on your retro review show. Blue Meanie was on my show, and he talked. That's all we talked about is those trips to Memphis. So we didn't even go through his background or nothing. We just because we had met before on one of those trips. So
Yeah.
You didn't ask. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to say that joke. I'm not going to say that joke. I got so many jokes, but I'll keep
Fair
it for
enough.
Patreon.
All right, so there's the Squared Circle fan club, and so next up, Eric
Squares.
Embry's out.
Squares.
Let's listen to what Eric Embry has to say about what he did in
not.
the butthole. I mean the mud hole match.
But let's talk just a little bit about this dirty white boy. You know, Tony Anthony, I don't understand it, man. You know, I'm just trying to have a little fun, Dave. I'm just trying to have a little fun. I happened to look out the dressing room door, and I seen that little hog-faced, dirty white girl standing in the ring trying to manhandle Miss Texas. I thought, well, I could have some fun here. And so just, yeah, let's do it. Oh, man, we went down. I picked her up, and I threw her in that slop. Well, that mud, but, you know, big for a slop. And Tony Anthony, you took it serious, man. He got his panties in the water or something, Dave. He took it serious. And I'm just having fun, man. I'm the world's greatest at just having fun. The white boy. You know, I don't understand.
Well, I understand. For heaven's sake, wasn't having fun. You were out there dumping her in that trough of mud.
I was having fun, just like I said. And why he gets upset, I don't know. But he made a great big mistake, white boy, when you stuck your nose in my match. Now, I brought a piece of tape today, Dave Brown, that I want to show a bald-headed Eddie Marlin, a bald-headed Paul Neighbors.
Look. I know what you're talking about. I'd just as soon not show that right now, though. I'd like to do it in our own way a little bit later on, if you don't mind.
I understand, because I didn't have to cut Eddie Marlin's hair. When I set him down in the chair, all his hair just fell out from old age, man. Now, you show the tape, all right? I want to see the tape.
We're going to have to do it sooner or later.
Yeah,
anyway.
you're going to have to do it.
Let's take a look at the tape.
Oh, come on, Embry, as if it's not already enough. He takes a chair that Marlin was sitting in, nails him with it. Marlin and Paul Neighbors holding up, peering into the blanket. Embry fires away. Up from the dressing room. Comes out. Sends Embry running on out of here with Kojo Yamamoto.
Yeah, you see why...
Did you see that? Well, you ain't seen me mad in a long time, man. But, dirty white boy, I'm a little upset now, man, because you had the guts to stick your nose where it didn't belong, man. And now you come up with Eddie Marlin, this special challenge. Well, you can call it anything you want to call it. I don't care, Dave Brown. Because what it boils down to, white boy, is you got to get in the ring with me face to face, man to man. There ain't going to be no sneaking up behind me like all you... What? What are you hollering about? Hey, let me tell you.
Come on, Embry. Put him down. Leave him alone.
I've already told you.
That was great. He split that board over his head, and Embry sold it like he was shot. That was tremendous.
I loved the way you didn't put it on there, but they drug him out. I loved that. Dragging him across the
yeah, I should have left
TV
that in.
studio.
It was
I
so
loved it.
long. I was trying to cut out what I could, but I don't know. I love that it starts out. He's all laughing and I was just having some fun, man. Just having some fun. And then by the end of it, he switches gears. And he's enraged, and you're not going to be able to sneak up on me. And then Dirty White Boy sneaks up on him, splits the board over his head, lays him out. I don't know. This was a fun segment that kind of showed Embry's range here in the course of one promo.
That's exactly what I was going to comment, man. This is why Embry's one of my favorites, because he's like a fucking DMT hallucination or some shit. There's so many different sides to him as a heel and as a babyface, but he can be whatever you want him to be. He's got chicken shit in him. He's got an oppressive type heel. He's a fucking manipulator. He's, he's trying to make you believe, that he's just having fun. And then you see the video, the playback enrages this motherfucker again. He's like bipolar or something, but he's convincing in every single fucking thing that he does. And he's great at it. Like, he's a fucking master, man. And like, that's why I love reliving this shit, because I get to reappreciate the range of Eric Embry and just everything that he's capable of.
Yeah, I agree with everything, Justin. I love this. I love him talking about Marlon and neighbors, and I liked it at the very front. He says something about the Squared Circle fan club. He called them all squares. Look at them, and if you look at it, it really did. They reacted to it and everything, and loved the end part where they drag him out. But him grabbing Michael St. John, it was crazy. So,
and something that really stood out to me here is, he's been at odds with Lawler for months now. And Lawler has chased him all over every inch of that studio and thrown chairs at him and everything else. But Dirty White Boy is the first person to lay him out in that studio since he's been there. That right there is the most comeuppance we've seen Embry get in his entire stay in Memphis. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I thought that was yet another sign that we have moved on from Lawler, and now he is locked into Dirty White Boy. And personally, I'm not mad at that. Another part of that clip I noticed, when Dirty White Boy ran in for the save, somebody must have showed up and was handing out Zubas and tank tops in the dressing room, because Lawler's rocking his. Dirty White Boy slides in wearing that get-up that he had on, and I'm like, you can't tell me he's rocking around Bucksnort, Tennessee in those pants and those tennis shoes and getting away with it. I mean, I know Bunkhouse Buck wouldn't have it, so that was pretty funny to see him come out there in that. So the other thing I forgot, that Heartbreaker match we watched at the beginning of the show, when I first watched it the other day to make the notes, I was like, who's that referee? And then it got in closer, and I realized, like, oh, that's Paul Neighbors. He got his head shaved. And so I was hoping we was going to see Eddie Marlin come out on the show, but at least we did get to see a clip of him getting his head shaved. Or as Eric said, it all fell out because he's so old.
I did a double take on the tag team, the butthole match, because Uncle Danny was the referee. But at first I was like, who the hell's that ref? Is that Tony Falk? Wait, Tony Falk? Wait, who is that? And then I was like, oh, yeah, I remember now. Danny was the special ref.
He can, Uncle Danny can do it all. He can wrestle, he can ref, he can be whatever you want him to be. So
he wore his good Reeboks for the fucking match. That's maybe that's why they didn't get so much mud in the ring, because Uncle Danny had the good shoes on.
There's your answer. He told them before they went out there, like, anybody gets mud on these Reeboks, I don't play. So just remember that.
I don't play.
So They've got a bar room set up in the ring here. We hear from the Barroom Brawlers, who multiple times in the promo says Christmas came early. They're going to be fighting in their home environment, and they're going to hospitalize Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller. This is a little better than their initial promo, but I didn't feel inclined to clip it. I think if you saw it, you're good. If you haven't, go check out the episode over on YouTube. I highly suggest if you're just listening to this, go check out the episode. There's a lot of fun stuff in this one throughout. We hear from their opponents, Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller. They're not as fired up as they were last time, but Fuller was good here. He had some pretty good lines in this. And what did you guys think about this? None of us were. We were all underwhelmed at their previous promo. What did you guys think of this one?
Dude, I had intention to text you and say you have to put this as a sound drop. It's 34-37. Jeff said they're panning to the ring, and you see all the implements of destruction, that could be had. And he's talking about, we've had fights and this and this and this. And he's like, and they're showing all this, but the line was, I hope I'm going to be on the giving end instead of the receiving end this time. I'm so juvenile, though. I laugh
clip that
so
for future
fucking
use.
hard. And then you got Robert Fuller saying the first time he was ever in a bar, he had a fight and he got kicked out and blah, blah, blah. But the only thing that I could think, because they showed the setup and all the bottles and everything, the first fucking bump in that ring, all of that shit's flying off of them tables. It's going to be bad.
Yes, I thought it was going to come into play on the show.
I did too.
Because I was they took all the time to put all that shit in the ring just for them to stand there and cut a promo and then have to take it all back out before they wrestle again. Like, that's a lot of effort, but I guess they wanted everybody to get a clear picture of what they were going to see Monday night. But
I like the Barroom Brawl set. I thought that was a nice touch. We ain't seen anything like that on Memphis Wrestling. I expected Fuller and Jarrett to jump in and we'd have a big brawl, but maybe they're saving it for the mid-size, for the Pipkins building. Jeff was out in a new Greg suit. Did y'all notice that? He had a Greg suit. And I did talk to Jeff this week. I emailed him and asked him, what's up with all of a sudden it seems like you're swinging the chair. Did someone piss you off or someone tell you to actually to start swinging it harder? And he said, no, it was just what he started doing. Is like the flow of his work went from, barely using the chair to now he's actually using it. So I don't know. He says no one, patted him on the back and said, hey, start doing it this way kind of thing. It's just the flow of what he started doing.
I picture from your email conversation, like almost like a New Jack situation where he's watching, because we can all agree that like it was noticeable that it was that day that we saw it reviewing this thing. And like it was shitty chair shot after chitty chair shot. And then he's watching that from the back. And when he comes out, he's this insane, just bam, 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 like for real. But I think it's like New Jack. He got like addicted to stabbing people. I think like after that first crack on whoever's head it was, he's like, man, that felt good. And he just kind of got addicted to it.
That's what I pictured right before he starts typing these emails to BT. He goes, oh, BT. There it is.
I have it, pal. Every time I have that title, it says question. And I know he's thinking to himself, oh, shit, he's going to ask something really odd, because I don't ever message him and just say, hey, blah, blah. It's always a tiny, tiny thing that we notice. And a lot of those guys never thought about anything like that. They were just doing their thing, and they can't tell you where they were at, where fans will be able to tell you. Do you remember when you wrestled Joan Burrow and you beat, and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? But yeah, he answers them all. Big thumbs up to Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because Lord knows he's a busy man. So the fact that he takes time to answer our silly questions from this show is cool. It is nice to have like a direct line to somebody who was there, or in our case, 2 or 3 somebodies that were there. So we've managed to get some questions answered. It's not always the answer we're looking for, and usually it's just I don't know. We didn't give a shit. We weren't thinking about it. That's what I get from Doug a lot of times, and I won't even bring it up because I'll ask him. He'll be like, I don't know.
I don't remember. I get
I don't
that.
remember
Jeff
that.
says that a lot. I don't remember.
I used to get so pissed when I would like question my Uncle Danny. I would like interview his ass like a FBI investigator, essentially. I'd be like, so you don't remember this match? And, because on TV, it would just be like, oh my God, this was epic and this and this. And I'd be like, so you don't remember this specific event? And he would, no, I don't. It all runs together, da, da, da. And I would get so pissed that in my head, he wasn't cherishing the moment because I would have killed somebody to be in that position. And it's like, you had it, you didn't appreciate it. Or at least that's the way it was in my head.
So here's a question for you, and this is just speculation on your part, but you know him well. What percentage overall of his matches in Continental, Memphis, just everything that your uncle did that aired on TV, what percentage of that do you think he's actually ever even saw on a tape of, or was even obviously he was there and did it, but how much of it do you think he's ever actually even watched?
Well, I honestly I think a lot of it because he was pretty persistent. Like from even the 80s, he didn't get my granny to record them like in the 80s because I guess she didn't have a VCR back then. But I'm pretty sure that he used to get maybe Corny or somebody to do tape stuff for him or something, or maybe to get somebody else and trade with him or something like that. But like he would always, whenever he came back to Memphis, that's whenever my granny started doing it. And he would always make sure to get her to tape it. And he was watching a lot of them because but there's a certain time period where he stops like taking them home or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like around this time is where I have all the tapes. So, but I went to his place during the summer in the 90s, and I found all the shit from 1990, early 1991. So like he was watching it, but like Continental, he had all of that shit recorded, and somebody stole it out of I guess he had it in storage or something, or maybe it was at one of the schools. But during the mid 2000s, somebody stole all of that shit from him, and he was devastated, man.
Yeah, because it's so hard, especially if he had good quality too, because a lot of what's out there of Continental, the quality's shitty.
There's was
good stuff from 86 and some good stuff from like 1987 is almost non-existent. Like it's hard as hell to find anything from 87.
Yeah, he was to the point where you open or just slide the VHS out of the case and paper, match listings, this and that. So like he was pretty in tune with it.
That's cool. I wondered because like I know I'll ask Tommy Rich about a lot of matches that he was in and asked him if he ever seen them. He's like, no, I never watched that. Damn. I mean, you imagine if he sat down now and like, I want to see as many matches of mine as I possibly can. I mean, he could watch matches all day, every day for the next 20 years and not see them all. He did so much stuff on TV. Right. It's insane. But that's cool that he did watch a lot of that stuff. Because, man, they did some really, really great stuff in Continental. I mean, obviously, he did a lot of good stuff in Memphis, too. But, man, the Nightmares in Continental, they did some really great angles over there. But next up, we get to see our favorite enhancement talent, Chris Frazier, taking on Leatherface. And this is another one I think we're going to watch real quick because it's not real long. But I don't know. It's just fun to me to see Leatherface in action, like somebody trying to portray that character while trying to have a match in the process, and especially a match with Chris Frazier. So let's take a look at this right now.
On the waist of Jarrett and Fuller. In the ring right now, pretty well got things cleaned away, and Chris Frazier is standing there.
I don't think that's a motorcycle, Dave.
I don't either. Oh, my goodness. That's that chainsaw I hear.
USWA ring.
You're a chainsaw, and this lady comes prancing out.
Yeah, and stay out of his way. There's Leatherface. Oh, no.
Get
that thing back.
So I'm wondering who this one is. At this point, I have no confidence in who Leatherface is at any given time.
Me neither. And that's a brand new desk too with the logo. Is that a brand new logo?
Yeah. They replaced the whole thing after that, which I'm guessing that's why he did it last week, because they knew they had a new desk coming. But
Let's get that thing shut off.
He's wearing sneakers this time. No more boots.
yes. One of the weeks he had on like what looked like a brand new pair of blue jeans, but like not light colored blue jeans that you'd expect Leatherface to wear. It was like brand new dark Levi's. I was like, okay.
He had button fly on one. No, I'm just
Can you imagine him at
Beagle
J.C.
Boy.
Penney's, like trying to get the he's got his chainsaw running, trying to ask for like, do you have any 34 longs?
But I was trying to watch how he worked, and I really couldn't nail it down to any particular guy.
Yeah, I've seen so many different people like it. Like at one point, I think even Mike Samples, like maybe in the 92 or whatever, I think he was Leatherface.
Yeah, he was later on. You know, the week that they say it was Brian Lee, he was wearing cowboy boots because he had to climb up to the top rope with cowboy boots on, which is no.
And he had tight ass jeans, like from 1986 or whatever. That looked horrible.
Who did they say ends up being him when they take the mask off?
It's Ken Raper when they
Yeah, that's
unmask
not
him.
Ken Raper either.
No, definitely not. And it may be Dennis Knight, but I don't think it is here.
I think he's gone. Yeah, I think the best guess for me would be Brian Lee, but I don't know. I'd have to go look at a Brian Lee match with because this guy's legs aren't. I don't know.
Well, see,
It's weird.
this one though is wrestling like a real Leatherface would. He almost did no moves, and the finisher was even sloppy, you know. But like that's what you would expect from a serial killer.
Exactly. I thought this was bad.
He's hitting the rope with it, and he spanked his ass with it. Hold up, don't get it out. They got a chainsaw.
I like that chainsaw.
Lawler switches for a chair because he felt awkward with the chainsaw. Them sandals that Reggie B had on was sliding all over that studio floor there.
It was like he had butter on the soles, like it was bad.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to watch that match, because it did stand out to me that whoever that is under the mask, and I think it is a good chance it could be Brian Lee, like BT said, that they did a good job of working as if they were a movie monster that isn't a trained wrestler. That very first match against Lawler, I was like, the way he was swinging the chainsaw around and flailing around like a crazy person looked a lot like the character from the movie. So then we get we hear about upcoming appearances of Lawler. We got Adventure River. We got softball games where the hair's on the line, and this your typical.
Puts over Joel Goodhart too. I thought that
Joel
was
Goodhart was there somewhere apparently, and go through all the towns they're going to be in, yada yada yada, and then our main event, Dirty White Boy and Nightmare Danny Davis taking on Dr. Tom Pritchard and Chris Candido, who is standing in for the concussed Eric Embry. He's not having fun today, guys. I got tickled as a Dirty White Boy after he cracked that board over. He goes, "Are you having fun, Embry? Was that fun?" I didn't clip this, but this was a pretty good tag match here. We're getting kind of used to seeing Uncle Danny in main event tag team matches here, expiration of time matches. We see Pritchard get a pin on Danny Davis due to a distraction, and then we have some fuckery at the end there after the match. What did you guys think of this?
I thought it was pretty cool that I may be crossing timelines here because I know isn't there a second fall?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now,
You
we
can
talking
talk about it all. We won't break it up. But.
Okay, because I can't remember if it was the start of the first or the second fall. Maybe it was the start of the second when Tony Anthony was enraged or whatever. But either way, like I love that he was out there just murdering Chris Candido. Had him behind the desk like serial killer choking him. He done whooped him with a chair. It was like he don't give a shit anymore. I don't care if I'm disqualified. I don't care. And Candido was just like, oh, he was selling it great. Like it was great. But I didn't catch how that first fall ended. Like all I saw was it switched back and Uncle Danny's laid out.
Yeah.
But
I think they missed the pin on the actual, like, I don't think we actually got a shot of it. They just described it after it happened. But and that's the thing, when you got all that going on, it's hard to get to catch everything, because I don't think back then, like now, even on local television shows, they pretty much clue the cameraman in on where things are happening. Be sure you're here, or they're on there saying, "Hey, switch this camera. This is about to happen," as you see on even like that Unreal show for WWE. But here, they just got to kind of be watching, because nobody smartens them up on where the shots are going to be most of the time. But
I figured Randy had too big of a bite of a Fifth Avenue. Toe.
Man,
other two.
Danny lost, and all I could think about is Meemaw talking about Danny. Then Embry kidnapped white girl, and I put in the notes, no, I was not outside the studio in my 74 Ford Maverick with the trunk open. That was not me. So I just want everybody to know that was not me. And Embry came back for an interview after this, and he has scissors in his hand. Those scissors are those kids' scissors that kids get in kindergarten. I mean, they're not going to cut no hair or anything.
No.
What the hell was that about?
He dug those out of somebody's desk in the newsroom.
Yeah. And then Danny slipped. Did you see that? At the end of that second fall when they're brawling, Danny put his foot on that chair, and whoa, I was like, damn, that could have hurt. That could have hurt bad. So, but yeah, that was fun. I love the last, from the start of that match, the Express Time match to the end was just really fun, chaos, and in Memphis wrestling. So I really liked it.
Tony Anthony is like really gotten over here since he's turned a babyface, and he's got the dirty white girl with him, and now he's just beside himself that Embry dunked her in the mud. Now he's kidnapped her, albeit briefly, because when he first ran off with her, I'm like, I don't remember how this plays out. Is this one of those deals where she's missing for a week or two, and we're supposed to think that we're going to get videos from Eric Embry where he's got her tied up at the sports.
You ever won't see the white girl again, man? Meet me behind this gas station tonight. Those are
meanwhile,
just
we're
having
have some
fun,
man. So,
dirty white girl sure can cook, Tony Anthony.
Did he call her a horse teeth or horse head or
horse
something?
face?
Horse face. And he said she had a pig face earlier in the show. That's why he put her in the slop. Yeah, slop, bud, pig. Get it, Dave? Yeah, we got it, man. Yeah, I have to reinforce it. But actually, we've got a present day update on the Dirty White Girl. A friend of the show reached out to her, and we'll talk about that on Patreon about what was said there. It's kind of fun. Awesome. But right now, we are going to take our podcast commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to hear what the card's going to be for Monday night right after this.
Hey guys, Ray Russell here. Lots of new stuff happening here at WrestleCopia. If you haven't checked out our website at WrestleCopia.com, it's a great way to keep up with the latest episodes of all of your favorite Copia programming, from the Wrestling Memory Grenade to Regional Wrestling with the Territory Talk, the Wrestling Stoop with the legendary Bob Roop, and of course all of those programs also available at your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the Copia world, all the latest news, random thoughts, fun videos, pictures, and more, make sure to join the more than 33,000 followers over at Facebook.com/Wrestling Grenade. Don't be left out. And last but definitely not least, it's what keeps the entire machine going. I'm talking about Patreon.com/WrestleCopia. We appreciate your support in helping us pay the bills to keep the WrestleCopia Podcast Network running and enabling us to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we offer.
The Retro Wrestling Review. WCW Podcast is a bi-weekly podcast where Gene Jackson and Bob Anderson go back and watch all the WCW pay-per-views and Clash of the Champions events starting in 1989. Listen in on your favorite podcast platform or watch along with the guys over at patreon.com/Retro Wrestling Archive. New episodes drop every 2 weeks, but you can catch them a week early on Patreon.
Tired of the same boring wrestling podcast? Need something with attitude, chaos, and maybe just a little cussing? That's stspod.club, and we got it all covered. We got wrestling weirdness with WTF News Desk, 5-minute time limit, and the Southern Fried Brain of me, BT, steering the whole ship. We also have rolling into Memphis every week about the current Memphis wrestling. Interviews, hot takes, and wrestling outrageousness so wild it might get you banned in 12 states. That's right, it's SDSpod.club, or search all podcast catchers for Shooting the Shiznit, where wrestling podcasts grow chest hair. Not sure what that meant. Love my mama.
All right, let's hear what the matches are going to be at the Pipkins building, and then we'll let BT tell us what the results of that and other things were right after we hear
O'clock is when it all begins. Parking is free Monday night. Boy, I tell you, the crowds have continued to just be tremendous. Packed house down there again last week with some tremendous action, and I'm sure just about everybody who was there last week is going to be coming back for more this time around. Doug Gilbert will be in the opening match to go against Heartbreaker Randy Harris. Doug Gilbert, boy, he's mighty tough, but we saw Heartbreaker Randy Harris in his first appearance on television here today, and he is something to be reckoned with. That should be some kind of match right there, and that's just the opener, Doug Gilbert against Heartbreaker Randy Harris. Following that, World Light Heavyweight title will be on the line. Brian Christopher, boy, he has really looked good since the first time we saw him in a wrestling match. He was wrestling primarily tag team at the time. He gets a shot, though, at the World Light Heavyweight title against Nightmare Danny Davis.
My hat's off to Danny Davis giving this young man a shot. I mean, Danny says he'll take on all comers. Brian Christopher, up and coming in the USWA, gets his shot Monday night at the Pipkin building.
Absolutely. Danny Davis, that kind of champion, and he will be trying to defend that belt one more time against Brian Christopher come Monday night. Texas Heavyweight title will be on the line then. Dr. Tom Pritchard with Ms. Texas in his corner will be going against the superstar, Bill Dundee, and the Texas belt hangs in the balance.
And a new dedication by superstar Bill Dundee. I don't think I've seen him act in the ring the way I've seen him in the past 3 or 4 weeks. He has really come on strong, and I got a feeling we're going to have a new Texas champion come Monday night.
By his own admission, he got sidetracked with that situation with Jamie, but he has been back on track the last several weeks. Maybe Monday night's the night that he walks out with that belt around his waist. Then a barroom brawl coming up. We're going to have more to say about this one in just a few moments. But Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller, they own the world titles again. They will be going against the Barroom Brawlers, and Barroom Brawl rules will be in effect. What does that mean? Well, we'll fill you in on that just a little bit later on. I think suffice it to say that it is probably going to end up being a wild, wild match. Then a special challenge match after that. Eric Embry with Tojo Yamamoto in his corner against Tony Anthony, the dirty white boy, with Kim, the dirty white girl, in the corner. Special challenge match there, but that's not all. Main event of the night, and boy, this one should be something else. Awesome Kong. Either weighs 440, 454, or 465. I've been told he weighs those three things in the last half hour. I don't know what he weighs, but I know he's huge. I don't think it matters exactly how much he weighs. He is big. He's the #1 contender, and the belt will be on the line. The match has been signed for Monday night at the Pipkin building. The King will be defending that title against Awesome Kong.
All right, there you hear the card, and we will pitch it to BT to tell us what went down.
We gonna do favorite thing, least favorite thing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was answering a text, got completely sidetracked. Good call.
That's all right, man. If one of us is gonna remember.
Yeah, as long as one of us does. Okay, so what were you guys' least favorite thing about this week's episode?
Oh man, I had high hopes because of the outfit and the look and everything, but that heartbreaker Randy Harris, he broke my heart. It was just
Fireplug.
Not good. And I think I could never see heartbreaker Randy Harris again and be okay.
I don't know if you will again. I don't know. You may be right there. My least favorite, and y'all are not going to agree with me on this, but not a fan of Reggie B. Fine at all. The exchange with Dave at the front with the phone, calling the rapper, and the stuff with Lawler too. Just not a fan. I think Awesome Kong. I like his presence and everything. He's a little shorter than he needs to be, but he looks different. That's what I like about him. But just not a big fan of Reggie B. Fine. So
you must be a fan of Joe Rock.
Let me ask you this. So this feels like last year when me and Josh and even you, when you would come on, were all big fans of Melvin Penrod Jr. and Richard just couldn't stand it. Like, didn't like anything about it, shit on everything he did. So what is like? So do you personally don't like Reggie B? Y'all had some kind of issue, or is it just what is it? Or you just don't?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. It just comes off. I don't know. It comes off phony to me. He comes off phony to me. Does that make any sense? Because I know wrestling's phony, but he does it. And what's really funny is what you said. Here I am thinking, he comes off as, just somebody off the street. And you say, that is Reggie B. Fine right there that is him.
Yeah.
And I'm over here cracking up thinking to myself, man, if I say he comes off phony, well, then is he phony in real life? I don't know. Maybe I've never been a huge Reggie B. Fine fan. Live, when he wrestles live and you're he is funny as shit when he's running from the wrestlers and he only takes a few bumps and all that. And in most of the podcasts, that I've listened to him on, the ones he was on, I enjoyed that, but just not I don't know. I'll have to search that.
I mean, you don't have to defend it. I was just curious.
No, I'm just saying. I don't think
a lot of times there's more to it.
It's not because I was the fat kid like Richard was. So Richard was mad because that was him, Penrod. So, like I said, the episodes I've been on is the best episode, y'all. That's the best episode.
You weren't a ghetto black dude when you were a kid, and now
I was not a ghetto black dude when I was a kid. I didn't carry a cell phone. I did like
Chubb Rock wouldn't answer your calls either, and
I did like that gold though. I did. I like that gold.
Cool Mo D would never call me back, and I just can't take the memories. But anyway, all right, that's cool. What was your most favorite part of this week's show?
Mine was the whole, Eric Embry and Tony Anthony saga playing out in the main event. Like, was the kidnapping necessary? I mean, I think it added to the heat. It added an even more layer of complexity to the Embry and Tony Anthony thing, and it makes you want to view that match even more. And it helped me as well because, dude, like you said, Tony Anthony is really over with the fans now. But if you look to when we started reviewing this year in January and early February when Tony Anthony was here last, I would have never thought that he would be at this level that he's at in July right now. And they figured out the formula to what it took. And I love the whole drama of everything, man. It's so much better than just, I want to whoop your ass, I don't like your face,
Yeah.
And these guys talk a lot, so they come up with all kinds of shit for matches and such. That's my favorite stuff right now was Embry and Joel Goodhart. Embry and Joel Goodhart were feuding. I think I had another stroke this week. Embry and Dirty White Boy there. And really, I like the interview and the board going over his head and knocking him out, but I did like it starting from the expiration of the tag match and all the stuff that happened till the very end. That was my favorite part of the show, that segment from that point to the end.
Yeah, when he showed back up and just kind of arbitrarily attacked Eddie Gilbert, just seemingly for the sake of starting a feud between the two, there was no reason he should have been mad at Eddie Gilbert, based on anything we had seen. So when he come back, if you'd have told me fast forward a few weeks later, he's going to be this big baby face, but when you think about it, he come back to feud with Eddie. Eddie ends up quitting, and I feel like Dirty White Boy got plugged into the babyface spot that Eddie was supposed to fill, and that's kind of how he ended up here, but it's working better than I bet anybody would have expected. And since the kidnapping turned into an attempted kidnapping, technically, it only happened for a few minutes, I think it adds more heat to the situation and fuels the fire between him and Eric Embry. I used to, even as a kid, I always hated the handful of times in wrestling where a valet or a wrestler or whoever got kidnapped and then they had them until like the next show or the show after. It's like, why are we supposed to think they're keeping this person and that nobody would call the cops and they come find, you know what I mean? Like, we're just supposed to think that you kidnapped them and you're keeping them somewhere and nobody's involving the police or anything. We're just going to let it play out on TV. So as soon as he ran off with her, I was like, I forgot about this. But then when they brought her back, I'm like, oh, okay, he just tried to kidnap her. He couldn't get her into the station wagon, and she got brought back in. Fair enough. So, that was my favorite part, too, obviously. And then, of course, the question, would you buy a ticket to go see this week's card at the Pipkins building?
I think so. I'm going because I feel like some major shit's going to happen with Dirty White Boy and Eric Embry. And I got to see if Awesome Kong, because with Reggie B by his side, I mean, you never know. He might win the title.
Man, this would be a toss-up for me, guys. This is probably the first Monday night since we got started. I think maybe another one earlier on. I honestly thought this was the worst show we watched this year. Wow. Overall. To me, it's the Embry, Tony Anthony stuff and the stuff at the very end was the only thing that even, that I like. So I don't know. I don't know if it's toss. I want to see, and this is goofy, but I want to see the barroom match because of all the stuff that's in it. And also, I'm into the Tony Anthony, Eric Embry thing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could care less about Lawler defending the belt against Awesome Kong, though.
What if we promise Reggie B won't be in his corner?
No. Yeah, you'll get some messages this week that I'm racist. That's the reason I don't like Reggie B. So there we go.
He's not only homophobic, he's racist. I want to go and see Doug Gilbert beat the shit out of this indie hack that they're bringing in, this Heartbreaker guy. So if nothing else, I'm going to go see that, and then I'll watch Lawler wrestle Awesome Kong. I could give two shits about the barroom thing. That would almost be a reason that I wouldn't go because I feel like that would just go on for freaking ever and ever and ever. But I would want to see Dirty White Boy and Embry. So anyway,
am I the only one that likes the Barroom Brawlers? I like the dog catchers.
If you like them, then yes, you are.
And I like the dog catchers, and nobody liked the dog catchers either.
Yeah. Josh didn't like the dog catchers, and Josh hated the War Machines like they had molested his dog or something. Like he just had a.
And the Harris twins.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other level.
He got heat with them.
Man. Them damn Harris twins, I tell you what.
All right, I got some results. First, we're going to go to Jonesboro on that Sunday night.
Where?
Jonesboro, Arkansas. I did look up some stuff. So, Jerry Lawler and I had our dressing room thing in May of 1990. It was April or May of 1990, so I just quit altogether going to Jonesboro shows. So I was not at this show. But I had just got out of college and I was working for a pizza place for almost over a year until 92 sometimes. So I still have my tape collection because I think I've mentioned I got rid of my tape collection. Sometime between there and May of 92, my dad passed away in May of 92. That's when I moved back home, opened up my own pizza place. But I'm still sending Meltzer results and talking to Meltzer, but I'm not going to the live shows. I looked all that mess up for some reason. But here's the results. Danny Davis beat Candido. Jimmy Janetti beat J.T. Smith in a battle of Philly indie wrestlers. Joel brought them with him on the bus trip. Pritchard beat White Boy. Dundee beat Leatherface by forfeit when Leatherface didn't show up. Dundee, then Davis came out and said he'd wrestle Dundee. And the Brawlers attacked both men. Jarrett and Fuller beat the Brawlers, and Lawler beat Embry by countout. That was Sunday night. And then Monday night, we had, you're going to love this result, Randy Harris beat Doug Gilbert. Danny Davis beat Brian Christopher. Tom Pritchard double countout will Bill Dundee. Robert Fuller, Jeff Jarrett beat the Barroom Brawlers in a barroom match. Of all the matches that they should have won, the Barroom Brawlers should have won that match. Tony Anthony beat Eric Embry by DQ when Pritchard interfered and ended up with Embry hit Dirty White Girl. We'll see what happens there. And Lawler kept the title, beating Awesome Kong by DQ. Didn't get attendance in any of the sources, so.
Yeah, I'm guessing that wasn't. I'm guessing that didn't draw huge. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if they'd had a big crowd, Lawler would have dropped the belt to Awesome Kong for a week or two and then won it back if they thought they could actually draw another house with him.
Right.
Wow, poor Doug lost to the Heartbreaker. I've got to ask him about that, and I'll if he can't remember the guy, I'll be like, here, does this jog your memory? Remember that rat tail right there? Surely you do. So, I don't know. We'll see if this ends up turning out to be Doug's last match in USWA for a while after this.
I don't have the results for next week. But
I feel like it probably didn't set well with him. But anyway, I guess that wraps it up for this week. So, let's hit a few plugs, and then we'll move on to Patreon. What's going on over at stspod.club this week, BT?
Been busy, guys. We did a 5-minute time limit. Gene and I did WTF News Desk. I did Rolling in Memphis on Saturday. On Sunday, our third annual, when the halftime show starts on the Super Bowl, we release the halftime show. It's every time we do a special episode, we have a halftime section, and I put them all together. It's over 2 hours of stuff. The year of the cassette starts on the main feed. This week is Cassette Wrestling News. And if you want to listen to Cassette Wrestling News, all the episodes we have left, subscribe to my Patreon or Gene's Patreon. We're releasing one every Wednesday till we run out of them. Great history going on with all that stuff. It's really
I've gotten
fun.
some good feedback from patrons, BT.
It is so fun to listen to because of I was involved with that more than I ever imagined. I didn't think I was on every episode. I know me and Jeff's been friends for a long time, but I don't remember being part of it. But it seems like I was more part of it than I remember. Also, shout out to you, Gene. Those Ronnie Gossett stories. You mentioned Ronnie Gossett on Dangerous Conversations, and I thought that was really good. And also, you explained something that made a lot of sense, but I've never thought about it, is that when they bring in somebody, and you were talking about Smoky Mountain, they brought in Rich, they needed a heel. So, he can't just come in as a babyface. When they call him, they say, hey, we need a heel. And when someone leaves, they need to replace it with someone different, but they need to be in the same role. I never thought of it like that, but that might be the reason why you get, Tony Anthony is a babyface now. So
exactly.
But yeah, interesting stuff there. I always learn something or pick up something from dangerous conversations that I've never heard. Because these guys have been in how many matches? So
Oh, God. Hey, one thing before you move on. You mentioned Ronnie P. Gossett, and we did talk about him on Dangerous Conversations.
Yep.
Somebody sent me a clip from September 91, and Christopher Honeylove has come back to the USWA, or maybe he's, back for us because he was here last time.
Right,
and this is a bit of a spoiler, but by the time September rolls around, I think people forget about it. But this is really, in my opinion, a teaser to make you want to stick around. Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller have to bring in somebody to counteract Honeylove, and they bring in, as a babyface, Ronnie P. Gossett. And we get promos where Ronnie P. and Honeylove Burt Prentice are head-to-head out there insulting each other, calling each other fat, and it is tremendous. I can't wait till we get there. We're going to have so much fun with that.
I remember
and hopefully
that.
We'll get Burt back calling in and communicating with us again from the other side, because I've missed that. But, boy, when he's Christopher Love, he really lays into that, honey, after everything he says. And then Ronnie Gossett's out there. It's great. So, anyway, I hate to interrupt you, but I want people to stick around for that.
I'm a
That's
big
fun.
fan of both those guys, and I love that. I love what they did with that. I remember that. I got to do the P3 Radio 4 out of 5 hoots. Smokey has me on the minute. I'll do here in a minute. But remember, P3 Radio is Josh and Richard, and it's the podcast. They always talk about videos, but never gives you the links or the descriptions. The minute starts now. Episode 444, Whoopsie Doodle. It's something that Richard liked to say about 4 times during the show. They talked about black cartoon animals. Have you ever thought about that? If they're black or white, the cartoon animals. Do you believe in dinosaurs? And if you do believe, do you think they were all gay? Richard talked to a doctor. Surprise! Richard still thinks his bad knee is because he had a mental breakdown. I'm not sure how. Richard goes through asbestos in the school, and I believe all the description of asbestos and everything put me to sleep. I woke back up, and Josh was laughing about something. Josh revealed that most women have no sense of humor. Richard did stand up, and his wife was fake laughing at the show. She was fake laughing. Richard has a jerkin song that's it. Good show.
Now you got to leave everybody in suspense as to what the jerkin song is.
Bunch of shit's what it was.
Bunch of horse shit's what it is, John said.
I wonder if you can sneak
I fucking tell him, dude.
Smokey.
I am not on that bandwagon at all. None.
Oh, you can
and
tell
he
the
keeps
show
fucking playing
changes.
it. Every goddamn show, he keeps fucking playing it. But I guess he's like over the moon about it, and I am just under hell about it. You know what I mean? So 2 totally different places.
I hate to do another thing about P3 Radio because of the spoilers, but during the podcast, the recording of the podcast, Richard informed us that the trash was getting picked up.
That's why I said, thank God. Thank God. It's like, what? Whatever.
Like, okay.
That's the kind of breaking news you'll get. Not just entertainment, but the news you need to know. Richard's trash is being picked up as they speak. So don't miss out. P3 Radio, you can catch it over at the Retro Wrestling Archive, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
At least it's not being blocked now. I mean, at least the AI songs are keeping y'all from being blocked. At least you can say that.
They still get flagged. They just don't get blocked.
Oh, okay. But, there you go.
I know the minute they drop a podcast because I get an email within 10 minutes saying, you've been flagged for this or that. So check out RetroWrestlingArchive.club. That's where you can find links to everything. It is a ripoff of Brian Trammell's link of all links. You can find all the links for this podcast. You can find links for Doug Gilbert's podcast, which you can still find it at DougGilbertPodcast.com. You can find links to the YouTube, the merch store. Got a bunch of new T-shirts up over there with the new logos and things on it. Check it out. It's there's something for everybody there, I promise you. And also, you can check out, if you go and join up on the Patreon, yes, I know people have said, Gene, you don't have enough podcasts, man. What are you doing? So I've added another one. Me and Rob Helt are going through watching all the episodes of Continental Wrestling that's available. We started with June 15th, 1985, the very first debut episode of Continental, and we're going to go through every available episode that's out there. And,
Fun show.
Right
I got an advance copy from Rob, and I was able to watch it, critiquing him, and fun stuff. And I loved Continental. If you don't think Austin Idol can work, watch that show. Watch the main event. He worked.
Him and Jimmy Golden put on a clinic out there in the main event. I was surprised. I don't know when I've ever seen Idol do that much on a television match in my life. So it's going to be fun. The video version, where you can actually watch the video that we're calling as it happens, is available on Patreon. And it's available right now. You can go join my Patreon and see that. If not, next week the audio will drop everywhere and you can just listen to it. And also you can find the WCW podcast where me and Bob Anderson are going through 89 right now through the pay-per-views and the Clash of the Champions and all the other good stuff. Me and Brian's CWA podcast that we drop every other Saturday at 11 a.m. And tons and tons more. It's a lot. It's a lot of content, but I have time on my hands still, so we're just cranking it out as we can. Check out substack.com/retro wrestling archive. Got a lot of good articles over there. Got a lot of great feedback. Got the Bobo Brazil article got me more subscribers to Substack than any other article I've written so far. So
oh, wow.
Thank you for that. And of course, the Wolfie D book is still available in paperback as well as Kindle over at tinyurl.com/wolfiedbook. You can also go to Amazon and search Eddie Gilbert book and get the new 30-year anniversary edition of the book. And again, you can check out patreon.com/shootingtheshiznit for Brian's Patreon or patreon.com/retro wrestling archive for mine. You can get either or both. They're so affordable. You should probably just get both, because we share some content, but we have a lot of unique content that we do separately. But a project we're fixing to do this coming week that I'm super excited about is a deep dive into Ozark Mountain Wrestling. Our friend Burt Prentice, we mentioned a little while ago, quit the USWA in 1995, went to Jonesboro, started his own promotion, and, of course, BT knows a little bit about Jonesboro, so he was at a lot of those shows. And I've got about 20 pages of notes of results and different things, and we're going to go through that. Probably our deepest dive we've ever done. A lot of times we just watch stuff and kind of talk about it, but we're actually going to dig deep on this one. I'm looking forward to it, and if people like it, we may do some more stuff like that.
I went to during that time period. I went to a lot of shows. You can see me in the front row. During the TV tapings, I was at one of their biggest show ever at the Convocation Center that they did. I talked to Bert almost every show. He knew who I was, kind of thing. Funny story about that. Also, a fun story. I had two guys visit me at Papa John's when I was running Papa John's, and fun story there. And let me see what else. I got into it with Bert during that time too. There was a major thing that happened that Dave Meltzer reported, and it was reported on all the message boards. Kind of fun story. Some personal stuff. Plus, that Ozark Mountain Wrestling is just unique in everything.
Yeah.
So I got
some big stars got their start there. I mean, a young Val Venus is there.
Yes, the Spiders, the Headbangers.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about there, and I'm surprised this has never come up on a podcast ever before anywhere. I would have thought you'd have mentioned it, but Brian is actually mentioned in Burt Prentice's book a couple of different times.
I am. Yes, thanks, man. Thanks
and the book's out of print, so if you want it, you're gonna have to go pay eBay prices for it. So
I gotta
or if you find a thrift store, either one, wherever you can find it. If not, we may have BT read a couple of passages from it during that broadcast, so make sure you check that out when it comes out. All right, guys, that's about it. Anything left to say besides the obvious thing that we know BT's going to say? Is there anything besides that he said? Josh?
I do care a lot for my mother. Yes.
I love my mama.
Yeah, me too, because I'm gonna look like an asshole if I'm the only person that doesn't, say I love my mama. So yes, I too love my mama. So it's noted now. It's here in recorded history. So there you go, Mom. Watch this back whenever you get to feeling bad that you haven't heard from in a while. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast.